just can't explain. The old man lived in the woolly swamp way back in Booger Woods. He never did do a lot of harm in the world, but he never did do no good. People didn't think too much of him. They all thought he acted funny. The old man didn't care about people anyway. All he cared about was his money. He'd stuff it all down into mason jars and he'd bury it all around. And on certain nights, if the moon was right, he'd dig it up out of the ground. He'd pour it all out on the floor of his shack and run his fingers through it. Yeah, Lucius Clay was a greedy old man, and that's all there was to it. But I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. 'Cause I never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. And there's some things in this world you just can't explain. The Gable boys was white trash who lived over on Carver's Creek. They were mean as a snake and sneaky as a cat and belligerent when they'd speak. One night the oldest brother said, "Y'all meet me in the woolly swamp later, and we'll take old Lucius's money and we'll feed him to the alligators." They found the old man out in the back with a shovel in his hand. 13 rusty mason jars he just dug up out of the sand. And they all went crazy and they beat the old man and they picked him up off of the ground and threw him in the swamp and stood there and laughed as the black water sucked him down. Then they turned around and went back to the shack and picked up the money and ran. They hadn't gone nowhere when they realized they were running in quicksand. And they struggled and they screamed, but they couldn't get away. And just before they went under, they could hear that old man laughing in a voice as loud as thunder. That's been 50 years ago, and you can go by there yet. There's a spot in the yard in the back of that shack where the ground is always wet. And on certain nights, if the moon is right, down by that dark footpath, you can hear 3 young men screaming. You can hear one old man laugh. If you ever go back in the woolly swamp where you better not go at night. There's things out there in the middle of the woods that make a strong man die and cry. Things that crawl and things that fly, things that creep around on the ground. And they say the ghost of the Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around, but I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. 'Cause I never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and there's some things in this world you just can't explain. Some things in this world you just can't explain.
Yes, I did. To just go down and check out the show. Yeah, they were dancing and singing and moving to the moving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, "Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music right. Play that funky music, white boy. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die." Till you die? Yeah, yeah. Well, I tried to understand this. I thought that they were out of their minds. How could I be so foolish? How could I? still the same. Yeah, they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, "Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, white. Play that funky music, white boy. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die." Till you die, yeah. Oh, till you die. Gonna play some of that funky Hey, wait a minute. Now, first it wasn't easy. Changing rock and roll and minds. Things were getting shaky. I thought I'd have to leave it behind. Oh, but now it's so much better. It's so much better. I'm funking out in every way. But I'll never lose that feeling. No, I won't. Of how I learned my lesson that day. When they were dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, "Play that funky music, white boy. Play that funky music, white. Play that funky music, white boy. Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die." Till you die. Oh, till you die. They shouted, "Play that funky music. Play that funky music. Play that funky music. You got to keep on."
Here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors, and it's the only way I live in cars. Here in my car, I can only receive. I can listen to you, and it keeps me stable for days in cars. Here in my car,
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I bump off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Anything negative, cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my fucking mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. I bet you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Hey, yo, welcome everybody to an impromptu special. What the hell is that noise?
I don't know. Shit, it might be my fan. I don't know.
Turn the damn fan off, man. I can't hear. And why the hell does this say the G on it? I didn't put that on there. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an impromptu special where we will be diving into the latest
music, man.
The latest 2023 UFO Press conference that was held on Monday by Dr. Stephen Greer and the Disclosure Project. Man, I ain't wearing no party hat, man. This bald head's too beautiful for that.
Gotta put the music on.
Yeah, I got the music. There it is. We good? Can you hear it?
Yep, there you go.
All right. So what's going on, everybody? We're going to do some roll call. Everybody, thank you for the birthday wishes. We love you guys for that. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, I ain't did shit all day. Like, actually, I went to sleep at like 5 o'clock. I woke up at like 8 and went over to Bass House and was like, yeah, all right, I'm about to start it up. But yeah, we ain't been doing shit all day. We just been chilling.
Dude, I think I fell asleep at like 12 o'clock and woke up at 5.
Yeah. He went to sleep. He woke up. I went to sleep. So that's all we've been doing. But thank you, everybody.
Windy out to go fishing, man.
Yeah, it was kind of breezy today, but thank you everybody for the birthday wishes. So we're going to do a little roll call here. I'm on my phone this time so we can see it all. So what's up? We got Miss Sue. What's up, Scorpion? Larry and Candace, what's going on? Willie Cup, what's up? Wedge, what's going on? Bryce, what's up, bro? Miss Lorna, Chica, Mr. G. Who else we got in there? I saw Wedge. Bama, what's good? Chase. No, yeah. Red Wolf, don't get too drunk sitting over there listening to that, play that funky music, white boy. You know what I'm saying? What did you guys think of that one?
What's going on, Bryce? Lyrical Jazzy.
Yep, what's going on? UConn, what's going on? Well, scrolling up. Hey, for all you guys that are, I see we got 20 people in chat. I'm not seeing 20 names. You guys, say hi in chat. Don't be lurkers. Say hi. We're cool. We chill. All right? It's all chill vibe over here. Hey, hi. Oh, well, let me put this band across the bottom there.
How you doing?
How you doing? But yeah, so tonight we're going to be talking about the recent, I don't know how many of you guys, I'm going to go to chat real quick. How many of you guys actually have sat down and watched the 3-hour press conference from Monday about the Disclosure Project? Wow. The stuff that was covered in that 3 hours, dude. For one, the one of the most interesting ones to me was the gentleman who was talking about the Antarctica and the power systems that were down there that could be possibly triangulated to down UAPs. Like, yo, Bat, take over for a second. I got a notebook upstairs with stuff written in it. I'm gonna go grab it real quick. All right, I'll be right back. Hold on. Matter of fact, let's get. I want to do this. I want this to be like kind of like a think tank type deal. So what we're going to do, I want people's opinions on this shit and people's opinions on the subject, the current subject and state of UFO. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the. We're gonna go ahead and drop this in chat. All right, remember, guys.
Travis, thank you for joining us.
It's UFO stuff over here tonight, okay? UFO stuff. That's all we talking about. I'll be right back in about 2 seconds.
All right, so he stopped by my job. I think it was either yesterday or the day before, and I had a theory about a little theory. It might not mean anything, but I'm pretty sure that the Black Knight satellite basically is watching over Antarctica. What if it was put there by someone to watch what's going down there, or whoever put whatever's down in Antarctica put that there so they could watch also? It's just a harebrained theory. But yeah, that I didn't watch it all completely, but I've been watching like bits and pieces of each guy. Man, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. The guy that was talking about Alaska, then the gentleman that talked after him, where he was talking about what he's seen in an underground facility at Fort Bragg, and that his father was a government contractor, and he built like buildings for them and stuff like that. And I guess he built this facility, and then something happened. His son went there, and he had to sign an NDA, and he said something to somebody, and they basically blackballed his pops, made him poor and everything like that. Who's that? What's going on, Will Cut? There you go. What's going on, Will Cut?
Hey, happy birthday, man.
Thank you, sir. And I actually did get me a bowl of that chili. It was pretty good.
I told you.
Yeah.
You add your little cornbread and some cheese to it?
Nah, man, I had some potato rolls, like potato butter rolls. I just put a little bit of salted butter on them, made like little sandwiches. I put it right in the middle.
Oh, that would be good. Damn.
Yeah, man. Bread, butter, and chili. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
So, have you seen any of the recent disclosure stuff that happened on Monday?
No, I haven't seen a link to it or nothing.
Really? It's all over TikTok.
I ain't seen it nowhere on TikTok.
Your FYP isn't working then, bro.
No.
All right. So let me turn. Why does this shit say the G on it? What the hell? All right, get that off.
Oh yeah, because they gave you an option down at the bottom now to put some dumb shit.
So
I was gonna put Boss Hog Outlaw.
All right. So we're first topic I want to talk about from the whole discussion of the from the whole UFO press conference was one of the bullet points that stuck out to me the most was since like 1956.
Hey, what's up, dude?
What's going on, Bryce? Since like 1956.
Not much. Happy birthday, guys.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. But since 1956, the president and Congress has been completely taken out of the equation of these black budget programs, and every time they ask about it, they're being gaslit. Now, it's written that Eisenhower was so upset that he had lost control of the situation that he had actually sent the U.S. Army up into one of those facilities to see what the hell was going on. And the fact that I think now another thing about this.
Hold on, can I pause you and stop you right there? Now you just talk about how he sent a military force up into one of these facilities, right? Now, do you remember? I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years ago that whistleblower came out where he was basically doing a deathbed confession, and he said that he was part of the team that went in there.
Yes,
it was like an old guy. Yeah, I'm like I can't remember his name. Old guy, yeah, on like a tan jacket, sitting in a chair in like a hotel room with glasses on, and he just spilled the beans about this incident where Eisenhower sent some military force into one of these facilities because he lost control of it.
Now,
and he wanted to know what was going on.
Another thing that really stood out to me during the press conference was the way Stephen Greer articulated the whole, there's a group that is controlling this stuff, and it's crucial to national security that this stuff gets under wraps within the next 6 months to a year. And he said that when he said that, he phrased his words really carefully when he said that. What is going to happen in 6 months to a year that there's been a clock set on this stuff, right? Because he says now there's a whistleblower coming out to them like every other week. Now, one of the things, right? If you're really eagle-eyed, I'm sure Shell would be on this shit, right? So when the conference first starts, right, and you're watching it, and he starts talking about the information of the starts scrolling down the list of people who've given who've given testimony. So if you're really eagle-eyed, take and pause when that list starts scrolling up. Take and pause it when it starts scrolling up every time, and sit there and read some of the stuff going along, some of the stuff that's written in there. Now, Stephen Greer, they've been at this since before the 2000, like since 1993, and up until 2001, they have recorded, I think it was like 70 interviews, right? And one of the guys that they interviewed is one of the ones that stands out to me in Bass. His name was, I think it was Justin Wygant or something like. I know his last name was Wygant.
Hold on, Sean G, what's going on, brother? I'm glad to see you in chat, man.
Sean G, what's going on, bro? Thank you for coming over. But yeah, Justin Wygant. Now, he was stationed in Peru. This is his story. He was stationed in Peru, and there was a UFO crash down there in Peru, and he was one of the people that happened upon it. Like, he wasn't part of any recovery teams or anything like that. He was just a normal grunt. And him and the unit happened upon it, and they were staring at it. Next thing they know, they're being surrounded by dudes in black military garb, and they're being like, their lives are being threatened and everything like that. So this is that's just one guy. They've got over he said at the current time on video testimony 70 to 80 witnesses, hold on, my screen went dark, all regarding different aspects of this UFO phenomenon. Now, one gentleman that he went into. I forgot the gentleman's exact name. He was talking about how he came in contact with the PLF. For anybody who doesn't know what the term PLF is in ufology, it's programmable life form, right? So apparently, this gentleman there was a planned abduction, and he attacked the gray that was coming to get him, and he knocked it to the ground and kicked it. And when he did, it opened up, and there was wiring and shit in the side of it. So my question, or I'm raising the question: are they really planning on using these things for a fake alien invasion? Is that why the timetable has been put on it? What do you
I
guys
think so.
That's a very good
Well,
possibility.
think about it, Truth. We've heard about PLFs back in like 2006, 2007, where people were already describing those things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, that one supposed whistleblower that come up on the hologram that was shown to him in that one bunker of a UFO, and supposedly that was used over Phoenix back in the early 90s.
Yep. Now,
Yeah, the Phoenix Lights incident.
so now, my thing is, I know a good percentage of this stuff is actual military built craft, UAPs. What else do they call it? Alien reproduction, ARVs, alien reproduction vehicles. That's another term for it. So, what is the percentage of these things that are actually legit crashes? Like the one that Wygant witnessed, I believe that was a genuine crash of a actual UFO. Now, Steve, they go, and during that conference, they talk about a few different UFO crashes. Apparently, they have up to, I had it written down here, over 121 UFO crash retrieval cases. Right? They have information and documentation on 145 top secret facilities that are housing some of this secret technology. And
the best part is about what you just said about housing this technology. If you bring up the map that he shows, and then you bring up the map of like the underground bases, the kingdoms that are in the United States, it completely matches up with it.
yeah,
There's
So-
a couple of new spots here and there, but it all follows the lines.
so like I said, a lot of this information that people are coming out with has been out for years. Like Stephen Greer, they pretty much just synced up a map that's been going out since the 90s. That all the secret bases and the underground tunnel system, that syncs up with the list with the bases and maps that they just put out. You know what I mean? Like there's too much of this stuff is linking up, and it's just think about how long and how intricate it took to build all this shit, right? To build this whole mystique of what's going on, right? Like countless lives have been lost or threatened. Who knows what kind of technology we actually have that they have locked up in these black programs, and what are they really planning on doing with these black programs? If you guys are friends with me on Facebook, you'll see a couple of days ago I posted a video about a gentleman. It said I put tagged shit. If you need to watch it a second time, there's a government insider talking about how they used laser, kind of like a laser triangulation system, to pretty much mess with our armed forces. Like you can track it on radar. Once the beams hit, you can see it, you can track it on radar and everything like that. They were using that stuff to test our pilots and test our radars and stuff like that. Why the hell are you guys doing that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not even getting into the whole. Now, this is just the surface of the shit going on. Stephen Greer's just talking about the technology and some of the witnesses that have been around to see this technology. And listen, if you haven't, I recommend you go to the Disclosure Project page and sit down and watch a bunch of those interviews, because you're just gonna be like, damn.
And watch
Like-
the earlier one that he put out in like 2008, 2009 first.
Yeah, declassified.
Yeah,
I think it was called that one where he had
Or
all
undisclosed.
all the people he was interviewing just like sitting in front of a camera, and they were just like spilling the beans.
so
Where it was like looks like one-on-one interviews. Watch that one first, because there's a lot of information in that one.
now one of the individuals that he brought up in this conference was Sergeant Clifford Stone. Now, Clifford Stone Clifford Stone did an interview with him in the early 2000s. Clifford Stone's been all over talking about it. Clifford Stone was part of a NBC team. If you guys haven't heard what NBC teams are, it's nuclear, biological, and chemical teams. Right? He was part of one of these teams in the 60s, and he was tasked with going to crash UFO crashes and stuff like that. Now, my question, I gotta. Back then, were the NBC teams actually just a cover for like a crash retrieval team? Because I mean, nuclear. No, you don't know if the
possible.
power. You don't know if the craft is nuclear. You don't know what kind of biological stuff is in the craft, and there could be chemicals in there. So I could see how they might task a NBC team with possibly going to a UFO wreck.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? That was probably the early stages of that program.
Oh yeah, because they really only started. Well, they might have been doing this well before the 50s, well before the 50s and 60s, with like retrievals and stuff like that. But I think they hadn't really developed a unit at that point to possibly respond to these incidents. So that's why maybe they were using NBC teams. Because I'm sure, like, there's got to be an NBC team in probably all four corners of the United States, north, south, east, west. You know what I mean? So depending on where, say, a crash might take place, you'll have your East Coast team take care of it, or you'll have your West Coast team take care of something that might happen in like the Nevada desert.
See what cousin put?
Oh, there. Okay. Yeah. Well, my cousin, he would know. He spent time in there. He spent time in the Army. No NBC teams are in the Army in each battalion. Okay. Yeah. Clifford Stone was in the Army. So, yeah. Now, like I said, the one that intrigued the whistleblower that intrigued me the most was the guy from Antarctica. Did you guys listen to him? What the hell is that? I think he got wind of some. I think he got wind of what was really going on down there. Now, we're going to hop into Antarctica for a second, because this Antarctica plays a whole part in some of this ufology stuff. Now, Antarctica, he said that there's a quote unquote a system down there. They have a system down there that they said was not powered up, but he looked at it. He looked at it and did some testing on it, and apparently it was fully powered up, and apparently this shit is able to like triangulate and take down UAPs. Now, Antarctica is really interesting, because if you guys go do the research about Antarctica, there was a, I forgot what kind of plane he was flying, but he talked about how he was on a flight over in Antarctica. It was a medical flight. They were grabbing somebody for a medical rescue, and they saw like silvery disc over what fucking mountain was it? Sorry for cursing. I cannot remember what mountain it was. But he said they saw UFOs over this one mountain over there, and they would never really, and they constantly wouldn't see anything past that mountain for some reason.
Like it was cloaking behind it.
No, maybe not cloaking behind it, but he just said he wouldn't see him past this one mountain. And they also talked about how they flew over a giant air sampling station. But what he really heard about was that it was really like an entrance to like an underground facility or something down there, and that they were having conversations with like extraterrestrial. I forgot what term he used when he was discussing it. And then you got scientists down there going missing. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on in Antarctica. And you got this guy coming up here and you got this guy going on record saying, "Yo, I found some weird equipment down there." Like the scope of everything that encompasses ufology is absolutely it's mind-boggling. The intricacies, the level of deceit, just what they've been doing over the years.
I told you my theory the other day about the Black Knight satellite being down there. After I heard this guy.
Well, we got an audience here. Let's postulate. Tell everybody your theory about the Black Knight satellite.
All right, so the gentleman said that either this technology is nuclear, which was down there before the Antarctica Treaty, or it was exotic, meaning it was there for a long time. Now, how long has the Black Knight satellite been in that orbit around basically around the South Pole?
Something like 10,000 years, wasn't it?
That's what they're estimating. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they think.
Now, there could be two scenarios with this. Right? What if this Black Knight satellite was brought into orbit and put there by some race from outer space to monitor what's going on down there in Antarctica? That's one theory. Or what if the Black Knight satellite was placed in that orbit by whatever's down there in Antarctica as like a detection for what's coming in from outer space?
Kind of like a sentinel.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
For either or for coming in or going out.
Now, didn't someone say
But it never
that
moves from around the South Pole.
it sends a signal up to one certain star constellation?
It's supposed to be sending a signal to the Boots system, which is like a void. Why would it be sending a signal to the Boots system, which is a void?
Well, for us, it's a void. What if there's something there that they're hiding?
Mm-hmm.
Because with astronomy, they can sit there and figure out stuff by how the color is and everything else. What if they're seeing something like a really huge planet and they see stuff going on with it?
You know what? Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm trying to find. I want to read to you what right off of this this black page, this redacted shit. So give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna find it.
Now, there's the wood gentleman. What's his name, Truth?
Which
He
one?
talks about the Black Knight satellite all the time.
Billy.
Billy Carson, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He talks about the Black Knight satellite all the time. Say, man, like, what if it's it's got to be some kind of surveillance, but surveillance for who?
He's pretty big into the Anunnaki, so I'd say he's thinking it's theirs.
Yeah, that's a good, very, very good possibility there.
All right, let me put my glasses on so I can read this shit to you guys. All right, so we're gonna go back to this list that Greer shared in like the first maybe 20 minutes of him talking before he brought the witnesses on. All right, so let me scroll back a tad. In fact, let me get my thing out. All right, boom, there we are. I'm right there. Go ahead, guys. You can keep talking. I'll let you know when I get to what I'm looking for.
All right. Now, another individual that was talking during this conference, I'm pretty sure he had a MyLab. Like, I caught like the end of it when I woke up. But the craft that he described seeing, anybody heard of, what was that one doctor's name who hit the alien in the head with the stick? I asked you that earlier.
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Now, has anybody seen the photos that he supposedly took of the UFO that he's seen in the woods next to this alien? How it looked like a black, like diamond, strange shaped diamond.
No, I ain't seen it.
No.
Oh yeah, there's photos of it that are out there. Now, this craft that this gentleman was describing looked exactly like that.
Huh.
Just like a smaller version.
A smaller version of the Black Knight
No,
or a diamond?
the craft that the doctor's seen.
Oh, okay.
That's wild.
And apparently, I believe that he had a MyLab, which means he was taken by this craft, put into another craft, and then he came across some humans wearing like hazmat suits and stuff like that. And he is, I forgot, I think he was Army.
This is the craft. This is the craft Bass is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, have you guys ever heard the story of Jonathan Reed? Pretty hell of a story. All right. Okay. So I forgot exactly what year this happened in the 90s, and
I think it was like mid 90s.
Yeah, it blew up all over Art Bell. So Dr. Jonathan Reed here, he was out hiking in the woods with his dog, right? His dog took off running. He goes to try to find his dog. He hears his dog whimper, so he goes to try to find his dog. And when he rolls up, this thing right here has his dog, and it's like grabbing it, holding it by its neck, and it's shaking his dog. And he said it was shaking his dog so fast and so violently that it was like a blur, right?
Yeah.
And it had the dog by the neck, and he said the dog pretty much disintegrated, right? And he said when he saw that happen, he picked up a big ass stick and he ran over it and he clocked this thing in the back of the head, and he thought it was dead because he saw brain matter come out of it, right? So he had a camera with him. He started video recording and shit, and that's where he caught that. This was apparently the craft that this thing had appeared out of, and it was like a triangular, like a flat black diamond shaped craft hovering in the woods over there on the side. So he didn't know what to do. So what he did, he threw the shit in his trunk, right, and brought it home. And when he brought it home, he was sitting there staring at it. He didn't know what to do with it, so he stuck it in its freezer, in his freezer in the garage. Thought it was dead, like he had wrapped it up in this like thermal blanket and shit like that. He thought it was dead. He starts hearing this thing screaming, like a loud shrieking coming out of the refrigerator.
Oh God.
like that. Yeah, like it was still alive. Like that's the video of it after he cracked it in the head. That's a picture of it after he cracked it in the head. And
Oh wait, go
So
back to
when-
that one. Go up a little. Go back up to the one photo. Yep,
Which
that
one? This
photo
one?
right there. Nope. The one right to your right. Yep, that one. That's a better image of the craft. Now the gentleman that was in this.
Small.
Oh, yeah.
Now the gentleman that was just in this conference depicted this same craft but on a larger scale. And his experience happened, I think it was in 2000, 2001.
So I heard a theory postulated about like the size of, say, like UFO crafts, right? Are you guys familiar with Doctor Who?
Yep.
Yeah, the
Right.
TARDIS.
So you know how
TARDIS.
you know how the TARDIS is. They on the outside it looks like a small phone booth, and apparently on the inside it's as big as a skyscraper.
Yeah.
What if that's kind of like what? I'm just speculating here. What if that's kind of what getting into, like, say that one might be like one of these smaller craft.
Well, think about what Travis Walton said when he came up on the seats in the top of the craft. He accidentally hit a button and it just basically like opened up, like there was like nothing there. You could just see for God knows how long.
Yeah. So back to John 3. He started getting he actually got shot at one point after all of this happened. And the body disappeared out of his refrigerator. This right here, he claimed, was on its wrist. And he said it gave the wearer like some weird abilities. But yeah, this is a close-up picture of that shit. He cracked it. See, boom, there it is. He cracked it, like I said, he cracked it in the back of the head with a big stick. And he thought it was dead.
Back on the Doctor Who, I just want to throw out there that I'm not exactly sure how you say his last name, but Christopher Eccleston, I think, Eccleston. In
Eccleston.
my opinion, best Doctor.
Yeah, I could agree with that. All right, so that so now all right, so I found what I'm looking for. So right, if we go back and watch the press conference from the other day, and at about 9 minutes or so, they start showing a list where they have witnesses and what they've seen and everything like that, right? So if you let it play, and you go down and you let it play and you let them get to the part where some of it's redacted, and you pause it, and just start reading some of the stuff that comes up on screen, you're gonna be absolutely surprised. I'm looking for one in particular that I'm gonna read out to you guys. But yeah, dude, I think it's pretty. Where is it? Yeah, go watch this stuff. Where is nope. Do briefing. Nope, that's not it. Okay, so there's one redacted name, right? An Army Green Beret with top secret SCI clearance, part of a training program at a secret base that is a naval special warfare base in Crane, Indiana. Shown a section of the underground facility which they called Off-World Technology Division. Doesn't want to go public, but can provide plenty of evidence to this, and if it will help the disclosure of the truth, has DD-214 documents to verify dates and claims. Another one, Deputy Secretary of Interior Affairs of Carbadino, Balkarine Republic, with direct UFO encounter and information. Like, What else? Air Force intelligence contractor present during NSA CIA meeting on subject, with officers present who discuss false indications and warnings. Uh, let's see, another guy. POC, I don't know what that stands for. To grandfather Everett Eldon Ale,
Personal contact.
involved with Pratt. Okay. Involved with Pratt and Whitney and worked on advanced turbo propulsion systems, hid artifacts in his home that are believed to be of ET origin, which are now in possession of Stephen Alley. Right, that's just some of the. That's just a couple. Let's see. Worked on this guy worked on reverse engineering projects, memory metal, night vision, etc. Worked at Fermi Labs, particle beam weapons. Says 13 families run the entire world.
That's true.
U.S. Okay, this one's interesting. U.S. Marine guarded a 40-foot diameter. U.S. Marine guarded a 40-foot diameter disc-shaped craft on scaffolding at an unknown location during December of 1963. Witnessed white lab coat technicians attempting to breach hull of the craft with diamond-tipped drill bits, torches, and lasers. Took a photograph of the disc inside the facility with a small pocket Minex camera, which was later lost in a flood. Told his wife details, heard water cooler talk referring to ET bodies also recovered, was interviewed by Stringfield. Like some of the stuff, like they've got witnesses coming out of the ass regarding this stuff, dude. Like I said, that's what I'm reading right off the redacted page. The people who don't want their names coming out just yet. I'm reading that. Like, guys, go back and watch this stuff, and just when that list comes up. When that list comes up, pause it, read it, pause it, read it. I know it's gonna seem tedious. Pause it and read it, and you're gonna be like, "Wow!" Like the
Imagine how
basic.
much more stuff isn't being told in that too.
Exactly.
Dude, Dave, if you go to YouTube and you just type in Stephen Greer, it's probably going to be one of the first videos that pop up, and it's like a couple of minutes over 3 hours long.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I saw a video he was in today, and he was talking, and they were like, the interviewer that was talking to him was like, you know, why are you coming forward about all this and saying all this? He's like, and then his response was, because I know they can't do anything to me now.
Yeah, he's too public, and he's probably got some backing that, yeah, they don't want to mess with him anymore. Like, all right, so this, if you guys listen to us over on Rumble, we talked about the deep state stuff over there, right? Now we're talking about the UFO stuff over here. I think that some of that deep state stuff is rubbing off on the UFO field, and the reason I say that is because Bass showed me a video earlier, and I could not believe what the hell I was watching. Right? So it's this gentleman, it's this dude, weird dude. Now this happens after not the recent UFO stuff in Vegas, but that UFO that was seen over the hotel. Apparently,
about a month or two ago.
Yeah, apparently he went out to Vegas and was like, "Yo, I want to see aliens." With a camera, friend in the camera, he's like, "Yo, I want to see aliens. Where do I go?" Everybody told him, "Go to Area 51. Go to Area 51. Go to Area 51." So he's like, "All right." He hops in his car, drives up to Area 51, gets to the gate. Maybe about what would you say, 15, 20 feet away from the gate, Bass?
Yeah, maybe a little further back, maybe.
The lights
he was anywhere. Put it to you like this: he was anywhere between 20 and 50 feet away from the gate.
Now, hear me out on this. The lights burst on, right? Then you tell me when in history this has happened. They lifted the damn gate at Area 51.
Well, what?
They lifted the gate at Area 51 a couple times.
Yep.
I shit you not. When have they ever done that?
It was the BS arm gate that has to go up first, but then you have to go through the actual chain link fence. But I've never seen them lift the arm gate.
I've never like I said, we've been I've studied Area 51. That's a bucket list place for me. They have never done that before, dude. Never. Like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this up. Like I said, I think some stuff's changing regarding regarding all this stuff, and I need to know. Why is there a timeline? Why is there a time frame?
That's weird.
Like, that's the cause for concern. Why does this need to be serious? I understand what he's talking about, where it's out of hand, it's illegal, everything like that. I completely understand that, and he's right. It's been out of foresight of the legit government for quite a while. We all know that 90% of this shit is crooked, but he's absolutely right about that. Bash, you sent me that video earlier, right?
Which one? The guy at the gate? I don't know if I sent you that one. I'll send it to you now, though.
Yes, please send it to me now so I can play this unbelievable shit that Area 51 just did, because I've never seen it done. Where's Facebook? Guys, like, go back and listen to this. Like, even if you got to put it on in background noise, go listen to it. You sending it to me or what?
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Oh, and
All right,
I
go
got and another, and I got. We're gonna get into that UFO crash in Vegas too. Just the stuff going around the internet about that is just where'd you send it to me?
On Messenger.
I ain't getting nothing yet.
Yeah,
There it is. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna show it. I want you guys to see this. You tell me something fishy ain't going on, because I ain't never seen them do this at Area 51. Check this shit out. Hold on, let me turn the music down so you can hear this joker.
Oh, yo, they opened it. That's me, as the only recorded civilian in U.S. history to have accidentally gained access to one. And it all started 12 hours earlier when I was investigating a UFO sighting seen on the Las Vegas Strip.
We're looking for aliens. Where do we go?
You gotta go to Area 51.
Area 51.
Area 51. Aliens, Area 51.
Should we enter Area 51?
No, you'll be shot.
So I got on the road and drove 3 hours straight into the Nevada desert towards Area 51.
Oh my God. Oh God. Area 51. We're clearly getting closer and closer here. Approaching very slowly. Please, God, don't snipe us.
I think we're being cooked. Holy shit. Look, they turned the lights on. Oh, yo, they opened it. They opened the fucking gate.
I think we're gonna get killed right now.
They closed it. Yeah, that is fucking creepy. They were trying to bait us in to get shot. Open it. They opened the fucking gate. Oh, yo, they opened it. They opened the fucking gate.
I think we're gonna get killed right now.
They closed it. Yeah, that is fucking creepy. They were trying to bait us in to get shot.
Sorry, but when in history have they ever done that?
Dude, I think that guy was right. It seemed like they were trying to bait them into coming across so that way they could shoot them.
See, but hold on, hear me out. Like I said, with my whole theory here, what if there is a secret like shakeup going on in that shit? right, going on in behind the scenes of the deep state or whatever have you. That's why they're pushing for this UFO disclosure. That's why they're pushing for everything they're doing now.
Oh, see,
What people who want the information out and people who don't want the information out?
Yes, like I said to Bass earlier, I know what probably would have happened, but speculation here, what might have happened if he did cross over there. Like, because like I said, that's never been done.
Well, they might have needed a new test subject, and he was that bold idiot to go out there and do it. Because I'm pretty sure they know you're in the area as soon as you get to the mailbox and you start making that turn down that road.
Like I said, that's never been done. I've seen the videos with Bob Lazar and John Lear in them. I've seen all the videos that people drive up and they sit there and they see the camo dudes sitting up on the corners and everything like that. You've seen tons of those. Never have I seen that gate lift like that. I don't know.
There was even a video from Norio Hayakawa when he went out to Area 51 and they chased him away with helicopters.
Yeah. Like, so why is this random dude why is this random dude get the gate lifted? I don't know. That
What if
shit
that
was really
random dude is in the military?
It's a plant.
He's actually a guard, and he's playing this game on TikTok to see what kind of reaction happens through TikTok.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
You know what? As well, would you think it would be him just messing around, or you think it might be maybe like a psyop?
It's a psyop because they know he's going to do it, so they lift the gate, put it back down, trying to play this little game with the American people in the world.
Now, see, you got my wheels moving here. I wonder how many views that video has.
I couldn't save it. I didn't save it, so I wouldn't be able to go to the video.
Okay. All right. So we're talking about views, right? Now, you know where I'm going, Bass. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're about to say.
Did you guys see any of you guys that out me on Facebook? Did you see my Facebook rant earlier?
No.
Yeah.
All right. So I went on a little bit of a rant. All right. So like I said,
now hold on. Let's bring your rant up. Bring your rant up and read it first. Then give the explanation.
Oh, you want me to read it?
Some people haven't heard it. Some people haven't read it.
I'll read my rant.
Read it.
All right.
Now this isn't going at anybody that listens to us. It's just a broad statement about what's going on in the field right now. That's what it is.
It's mainly about some of the videos, the videos people are putting out and shit. Like mainly like the say UFO videos or alien videos or something like that. So I went on a little bit of a rant. Bass knows why I did. I've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. It's just been annoying the hell out of me. So I decided to put it out there on Facebook. All right. So I'm going to read my little rant here verbatim. You guys tell me if I'm wrong about this. All right. And I'll even show you the video I'm talking about. All right. So this is what I put on Facebook. So it's pretty obvious my brother and I have a passion for the paranormal field as a whole. We have spent pretty much our whole lives looking into these things. The rant is about some of the stuff people have been putting out. Like we have said, we've dived into the stuff for a very long time and have watched and read tons and tons of stuff. I don't know. I guess I'm finding a bit of annoyance with how some stuff is being shown nowadays. When it was circulating 15 to 20 years ago, and it's being served up as it was yesterday. Don't get me wrong. I love that the stuff is getting to more people, but I think it's wrong for those putting out that information to not be truthful about when it was originally put out there. perfect example of this is a series of videos going around now with an Australian teen catching aliens on camera in his backyard. I'm not saying real or fake. I'm saying that those videos were posted years ago and people are putting them out there now like they're recent. That type of stuff helps and hurts the scope of things as a whole. Sorry, folks. That's just been annoying the hell out of me. That was my rant. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. What do you guys think?
Nope.
Nope, not one bit.
Now I'm going to show you said video that I am talking about.
My wife
We
said she
talked
thinks
about
she
we
liked
talked
it on
about this guy
Facebook.
on we talked about this guy on shows before. I can never remember his name, his actual YouTube name, but he had a whole bunch. He had one video where he walked down, like when these things was down there in the high grass behind his house. He walked down there, and this thing tried to snatch him.
All right, so
Like they were shining lasers at him.
this is the video I'm talking about. This series of videos is what Bass talking about. This Australian teenager kept seeing these things in his backyard. Apparently, he was getting attacked and everything like this. People have been putting these videos out recently, like this shit happened in like the last year. No, these videos are like 15 plus years old, right? So let's find the individual who put these videos out if he's still around and give him credit for it. Don't just snatch his stuff and start labeling it and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, there are some of us who have watched who were looking at all this stuff before we hopped on YouTube. So it's kind of hard to fool us with this shit, right? So here's the video I'm talking about. All right, so you see somebody, the grades have been seen everywhere. This one is trying to steal in this man's home. Prepare yourself for an announcement. This video is from like 15, 16 years ago, if not more. But we'll play it. We'll play it. Like I said, I'm not saying real or fake. I'm just saying stop saying this shit is recent when it's not.
Oh, whoa. Standing right there. Zoom in.
Oh God, I remember this one. Yeah, that's been a long time.
What do you want? What the fuck? Why are you walking away?
That was weird.
Fuck is it going?
Dude, he's got some. I'm telling you, you got to see the video where he walks down into that high grass and one of these things try to snatch him.
What is this? Me? Hello?
So, like I said, I'm not.
That's not the whole
I'm not-
video. That's not the whole video, but
I know, but I'm not saying real. I'm not saying fake. I'm not saying none of that. What I'm saying is, people, let's start being truthful about when some of this stuff came out, because honestly, it's not. I think it's not right.
that and stop taking AI images and trying to pass them off as real.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That-
driving me nuts.
Yeah, that's becoming a real problem too. But like I said, that stuff like the videos like that, some of us have seen that stuff before. Like the video of the Glimmer Man that's floating around with a thing chasing a guy in the woods. How many times have I said, yo, that video was from like the earlier. We saw that video in like the earliest 2000s. It disappeared and then reappeared, and it started to come back and make the rounds like it's brand new. It's not, and it's just. I don't know, just me in particular. I'm finding a little annoyance with that.
Well,
Like, just-
one, with social media, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, somebody finds something and they see nobody else has done it yet, quote unquote. They throw it out there like they found it when it's already been out there, just being rehashed because
Yeah,
people forgot.
Like,
and
yeah, like,
they want that. They want those views. It's all it is. They want the views for the money. They
like I
don't
said,
care.
yo, I love that, like that, like the stuff that, like that is coming back out, but just don't portray it to be like it's happening recently. It's not. It's like 15. It's 15 plus years old. The Glimmerman videos, some of them, that one in particular, 15 plus years old. Some of the UFO sightings that they're posting now, old stuff. Like, let's be truthful about what the stuff is going on. I know people going for views and everything, but it's it's not helping anything. Am I getting? Am I?
No,
Am
no,
I,
no.
Oh,
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
making perfect
But
sense.
you know what? It's opening people's minds, but it's kind of false advertising.
Yeah, because it's not true.
Right.
Being truthful about when it came out. Like, yeah, like that, like the video I just showed. That kid, those videos were absolutely wild. The whole series of
Oh
videos
yeah.
that they put out. And yes, people should see that stuff. It needs to be seen, but be truthful about when it was put out. That's all I'm saying.
And if they
Oh,
get
yeah.
hurt because you call them out, 'cause,
Yep.
you know,
I'm
Yeah,
not calling
and like-
nobody out. I'm just saying, let's in general, man. I think that hurts the subject matter because it's not accurate. It's not being completely accurate.
Yeah, and watch out. Like I said before, watch out for this AI generated stuff like that. There's recent video that's floating around where it has what looks like an alien behind a fence and it's playing the kid's 911 call. That's a bullshit.
yeah.
That's a bullshit video.
Yeah.
That's not legit. Although I got one.
The 911 call is real.
Yeah,
Yep.
the 911,
But the
911
video's
call is
fake.
definitely real. So now Bass sent me.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Yep,
No problem, brother.
Sent me the still. Now, you guys remember the other night when we were talking about this UFO, the Vegas UFO crash, right? Now, here,
You know what? I'm not. I'm starting to not think it was a crash, dude. I'm starting to think it was a landing.
yeah, I'm thinking so too.
I'm leaning towards landing, not crash.
All right, so,
And we're on the subject of aliens. You know what video? It's a little bit long in the tooth, but that Majay Brazil incident.
no, yeah, we're gonna talk about that one too. Well, give me a second. I'm working on that Las Vegas one first. All right. So
Okay,
you guys
not a
remember the other
problem.
night when we were talking about? You guys remember the other night when we were talking about when we were watching the video of the
Let me make my screen
of them
bigger.
walking into the backyard. Let me. I
Mhm.
think I might be able to. So remember how I was kind of like seeing like, yo, what the hell is that? But I couldn't make it out. Apparently, it was between the back of the truck, right, and the
And the front loader, the
And the
loader
front
in the
loader.
front, the first one. Because if you go back and you listen to the first interview that he put out, he says that they told him watch out. It's between the truck and the loader, but they called it a tractor or whatever. Yeah, those.
So
hold on. He said that they told him watch out, be careful. It's between the truck and the dozer. Now on the bottom, that's the back end of the truck. Right behind it, that's the dozer. Now, if you think about it, remember we brought up that video where it wasn't highlighted like this, but it was roughly in that same area where it looked like there could be a head, but you couldn't really make it out. That's
Now-
roughly in the same area.
Now, out of all the quote unquote reviews I've seen of this footage of people trying to triangulate where this thing was, this one's got it. And I think Bass is onto something. I don't think it was a crash. I think it was a landing.
Mm-hmm.
They just heard that sonic. They heard that sonic boom because it was slowing down. I don't know about that,
It
but I
was
don't
probably
think it was
coming
a
in too
crash.
fast and it slowed down. It
Yeah,
wasn't a sonic boom. It was just like a shock wave. Maybe before it hit the ground, it sent out something to like basically stop it in its place, and it
but
sent the shock. This is all theory we're talking about here, but
yeah, we're only postulating here. But in my, I think this is the best one. This is the best review of
now remember,
that.
there's another one somewhere around in this area because they
Yeah,
said there was two of them.
yeah. They said there was two, and that looks like a tall. That looks like a tall gray. Now, ladies and
If you think
gentlemen,
it almost like it's cloaking in a way.
now, ladies and gentlemen. So, what we're seeing on screen right here is what looks like a tall gray, right? Remember a little while ago I told you about the military gentleman who's had the encounter with the PLF. Majority of the PLFs they look like grays
Mm-hmm.
or in gray variations. Now, is that now what I'm looking at on screen here, right? Now remember this made the news. This was all over the place, right? Very popular right now. What I'm looking at on screen, is this real or is this a PLF?
And that's the $1,000,000 question.
Like, who was it? Wedge who said it before in the last stream? They need to, in order for it to be believable, they need to see the aliens on the ground. That's what these PLFs.
Illuminati. PLF stands for Programmable Life Form.
Yep. And if you go look it up, they talk about how a lot of the grays, the quote unquote grays, are PLFs. They're like biobots. And now, like I said, the gentleman the gentleman Stephen Greer talked about during the conference the other day said he had an encounter with PLF, and he brought up a picture of it, and it looked like a tall gray. What I'm seeing on screen here, what we're all seeing on the screen here is a tall gray. Is it real or is it PLF? I don't know. So that's the little thing we thought about with the recent Las Vegas crash, right? Now,
All right. Go back and hit those like buttons, everybody.
now let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing that real quick, and let me see if I have the
The Maje Brazil one?
Yeah, the Maje Brazil one. I think you just regularly sent that to me because you downloaded it, right?
No, that one was straight off TikTok. It wouldn't let me download that one.
All right.
Oh, and we got that Hudson Valley, the Hudson River UFO that I showed you earlier.
Oh yeah. There's another. Apparently, there. What the hell is that? Yo, you got to resend it to me because I'm not seeing it. Oh, and another thing about the Las Vegas thing, like, it's so stupid. There's news agencies talking about this family's like being abducted by the government and they're being held and ask questions and shit. And then this kid goes and posts a video. He's like, "Yo, I'm standing outside of my house. Like, we're all right. I don't know what's going on."
All right,
It's
I
so
just sent it to you.
stupid. It's so stupid. What?
It might take a minute for it to come up, but
Okay. Okay. So this, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we're from New York. This was caught over the Hudson River. Where is it? Present.
It should be the last video.
I got it. I'm just trying to add it to the stream. All right, you guys, what do you guys think? Check this shit out.
Damn.
Dude, I played the video upside down because maybe like it was like a mirror image. Because you know when you point a camera at like a clear body of water, you could like get the reflection from the other side. Nah, man, like that's right side up, bro.
I'm back.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I sent you guys that. That's weird.
That, what the hell could that be? I know somebody commented on the video it's a bug. I don't think so. No, it ain't no bug.
It's like two of them racing.
But I love how people hop in the comment sections and just type in like the dumbest thing ever.
Because if you think about it, right? Like, let's say you invert the camera and you put it upside down. If, let's say that thing was in the water, right? What the hell is that in the water then? Like, if you're looking at your cell phone, flip your cell phone upside down so it looks like that could possibly be the water. If that's water, what the hell?
I didn't want to like that shit.
Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I didn't want to. Yes, I got you.
Water or air, that thing is moving way too fast.
Way too fast.
Oh, and my question is, hold on. My question is, was this around the time where we had that apocalyptic smoke in New York State? That's why it looked like it could have been cutting through the air like that.
Might be. That's
like it was going so fast that it cut through it.
It let out whatever it was, just left a weird ass shit.
And with the
there.
smoke,
See that?
it was able to reflect back and hold it just enough
from
the lights of the little harbor there.
Now, depending on where this was, it doesn't give a description of where this was taken on the Hudson River, but it's around that time of year where everybody has their boats out there.
Yeah, so it's between like I'd say maybe like the end of April or so.
No, no, people don't get their boats like those kind of boats. People don't get them things out there till like after Memorial Day when it starts to warm up, dude.
Because they got them dry docked or something up there?
Like, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of marinas where you could just get your boat. Either you could get it wrapped there and keep it there, or you could get it wrapped there and take it home. But with the way this is, there's a lot of boats out there. People are probably taking their boats either from storage or from their house and just leaving them on the lake. Because it happens around here all the time.
Yeah, did you send me the
which one?
The Mahjong thing, Mahjong.
Yeah, I said to you because you watched it.
I don't have it now. I'm looking. All I got is the.
That's when I think I downloaded. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Hold on, give me a minute. I think that's one of the ones I downloaded.
Oh yeah, never mind. I got it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes and 38 seconds.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
All right, now this is from another gentleman, but I didn't hear about this in 2020, but my brother did. Wait, did I hear? I think I might have heard a little bit about it.
I did because I remember this one specific part of this video where there was a large amount of smoke emitting from behind a building, and they were talking about like it was a UFO crash. So back in like 2020, there was a pretty substantial encounter down in Maje, Brazil, with a UFO. It happened over a series of days, so much so that the military shot at these things, and there was a supposed crash. A supposed crash, and there were pew pew. Everybody could hear pew
There
pews
was a
going off in the
firefight
forest
happening behind in the woods of this where this
where this crash took place. Yeah. So Parapsych TV on TikTok, this guy does some pretty good videos. I'm gonna play it, and he did a breakdown of this stuff, and that's like, yo, do you remember that? I'm like, yeah, but it just nobody had put it all together like he did. But yeah, there was a ton of stuff going on in 2020. The announcement, the government announcing, yeah, we got UFO stuff like that. You got a UFO crash that was pretty much wiped underneath the rug like ASAP as soon as it happened. It's a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna play this real quick.
Now,
and we'll see.
Like I said, it's a little long. It's
like
about
5 minutes long.
it's like 5.5 minutes long, but it is worth the watch. If you never heard about this one is very interesting because I believe he says the Brazilian and American government were involved in the so-called firefight that happened afterwards.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you might have to turn the music down a little bit for this one.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, this happened in 2020, and how many of you kind of like heard about it? I doubt it. Like I did it, and this is before I heard it. This is before I got on TikTok and shit like that. So I heard about this on like just some of the pages I'll be on. All right, so Facebook. Where did I share it? What the hell? Where's the thing? Okay. All right. I'm about to play this, guys. Here you go.
Possibly alien that blows. What if I told you there was an encounter with something possibly alien that blows anything like the Roswell crash or the Rendlesham Forest incident completely out of the water and happened as recently as 2020? Never heard of it, right? Well, that's no accident because this thing was scrubbed from the internet with the quickness. We're talking about a violent days-long contact in the city of Maje, Brazil in May of 2020 between the Brazilian and US military and what may have been extraterrestrial intruders. Today we're talking about the Maje encounter, and boy, do we have receipts. So on the night of May 12, 2020, residents in the area surrounding Maje near Rio de Janeiro in Brazil were awakened by a loud noise outside. It seemed as though several planes or helicopters were circling in the sky above the area. As the locals began to make their way into the streets to investigate the sounds they heard, they started seeing and filming what definitely looks like a UFO or UAP.
aquilo ali no céu, velho? Fala pra mim. Dá uma olhada. Mano do céu, fala sério.
Gente, pelo amor de Deus, eu acabei de olhar aqui, ó, no telescópio. Olha isso. Olha a luz, olha isso. Olha o OVNI, meu Deus do céu. Vocês viram? Eu não consigo parar de tremer, calma. Olha isso. Olha.
Não é avião. Olha. Consegue ver que não é um avião. Parece um balão.
Mano, aqui, mano, olha isso, cara. Dá pra ver, ó. Tipo um núcleo no meio, tá ligado? Tá vendo?
Sightings had actually started in late April, and not only in this city, but all over Brazil. I know what you're thinking, it's drones or it's Starlink. All sightings are drones or Starlink now. But if there's one thing we know about the Maje encounter, it's that the Brazilian military, and according to multiple reports and one whistleblower, the US military, reacted to these sightings with a ton of force. After the 12th, it seems as though sightings in Maje continued. But something changed in those couple days. On the 14th, a couple incredible clips went absolutely viral, before being almost immediately scrubbed from the internet. First, we have this, what seems to be military artillery detonating around UFOs in an absolutely wild clip. Then there's this clip. Although I have seen evidence that this particular clip could just as easily be from a meteor shower. Witnesses claim to have seen not one, but two unidentified flying objects crash. It does kind of look too good to be true, but people did say they saw it crash, so who knows? There is a much more realistic, grainy video showing a burst of bright light and explosion over a ridge. The person that posted this video was confirmed via local media to be a local resident. The area shown in this video apparently perfectly matches up with being behind Imbel, an arms manufacturing facility in Maje. Next morning, an intrepid young group made their way to the Imbel facility with a plan to fly their drone up above the forest behind Imbel where they believed the crash site would be. This is what they saw.
I remember these videos, like smoke and yeah.
Can you go back a little bit? Wait, never mind. Pause it right there.
Yeah.
Go back a little bit. Go back to when it first shows them at the fence. See that vehicle right there?
Which one? Where?
Hit the play button.
Right here.
Yeah.
I think that was just a car in the parking lot. I think that's just a car in the parking lot.
Okay.
And it wasn't just them. Many residents caught video and audio of what sounds like a firefight in the woods as military helicopters and vehicles flood the area.
That's some heavy artillery. That's some heavy gunfire.
Escutando, Será que isso é normal por aqui? Vou perguntar ao pessoal que mora aqui. Acho que estão explodindo o ET. De parte da viagem. Meu Deus, que barulho alto. Gente, coisa maluca que tá acontecendo.
Damn, that was weird.
Yeah. Now, what I remember the video because he compiled all the videos together, but they were coming out at separate times. Like the flash in the town, and then the smoking building. Those came out like a couple of days after each other, and and nobody had put it together. But you had there was some videos floating around like, oh, there's militaries fighting UFOs in Brazil and shit. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I recall seeing something about that too back then.
Now, were now the were the Brazilian military, why were they shooting at these things?
It wasn't just the Brazilian military.
Well, yeah, cause didn't Stephen Greer said that our military and probably other militaries around the world, they're being duped because they don't know that this stuff is actually like some of this stuff is man-made.
Well, think about all the money that goes missing, dude.
So, but with this case here, right? If it was say just a ARV, right? What's with all the mortar fire and the gunfire and everything, like what the hell were they shooting at? You know what I mean? What were they shooting at? And because it was so much gunfire, were there multiple targets?
Well, that looked like a big craft, that whatever it was. And tell you the truth, if the video is correct, it didn't come down in one piece. It came down in at least two pieces. Yep, that's I think that's the part where she's looking through the telescope at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like they had been seeing this thing. Like I don't see. Now I'm looking. Was this legit? Was this the beam, the beam shit that the one guy was talking about? The video that I posted like last week. It's hard.
No. You talking about where it triangulates the beams and you think you're seeing something on radar? I don't think so, dude, because that doesn't explain what she sees when she looks through the telescope. You can actually make out the craft. Like if you watch it at the right point, you pause it at this right point, you can make out the craft.
Like, look at this one. And so, say these were actual UFOs. Why
Get ready
were
to pause
they?
it. Boom.
Why were they so heavily in this area at the time? What was going on that warranted these craft to be there?
Well, that can't be explained because everywhere that this stuff happens is just a UFO flap. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It just happens.
Now that
Yeah, like you
now
can make out the craft.
is that the same craft that was seen? It does look like the same craft that was seen earlier in the day.
Yeah, and think about it. She's looking at it through a telescope, which means she's going to get a better picture of it. Even though I try to do that stuff where it's very hard to keep it lined up through a telescope.
Well,
But it looks like the same thing that the video before showed, where the dude seen it over the tree line above the water.
All right, so do you remember hearing about the one UFO? I believe it was in Brazil. I want to say it was like in the 70s, about the town that was under siege by UFO lights. All right, so there was a town that there was a Brazilian town. I believe it. I want to say it was Brazil. I do believe it was Brazil. It was in South America somewhere. That apparently became besieged by these white lights every night, and so much so that like the people would wake up in the morning with scoop marks. There was dead animal. They'd see dead animals. It was really crazy what was going on. So the U.S. military went down there to investigate it, and the guy wrote a report. He's like, "Yo, I don't know what the hell is going on here. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna look that up right now because that I want to read you the story about that. Oh, where'd my
Oh, I
story?
remember that. If you remember when History Channel had actual good UFO shows on before Ancient Aliens who just branched off in the wildness, it was on a History Channel UFO show.
I lost my stylus. Oh, there it is. All right. All right. I'm going to take this off the screen, everybody. Okay. So what do you guys think about what's your general I want to ask you three guys what's your general consensus about what's going on with this UFO field right now?
Part of
All
it
right.
is definitely the government. They trying to start this new world order.
And what better way to bring countries together who have nothing but infighting than a UFO invasion?
Right. Think of Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Now, me personally, I wanna know why Stephen Greer is so adamant that this has to be taken care of in the next 6 months to a year. Like, what's gonna happen? Is there something coming in? Is there something coming out? Me personally, I believe that there's something coming in. Given like all this catastrophic stuff that's happening around this planet, something's happening where where it's changing the atmosphere and the gravitational pull.
All right. So, you know that case I was just talking about? Here it is. All right. Operation Saucer, the official search for UFOs that attacked Brazilians with light beams in 1977. While alien hunters concentrate their energies on pictures from Mars or on top secret Area 51 base in Nevada, an island in Central America was the location of a spat of UFO sightings that was officially investigated by Brazilian officials. Operation Saucer was an investigation into a terrifying series of reported incidents in 1977 where residents in the Brazilian city of Colares claimed that they not only witnessed flying saucers but they were also being attacked by them. Bright objects of differing shapes, sizes, and colors were said to have been flying at low altitudes, just a few meters above the tops of trees, and firing light beams at people on the ground below. Several witnesses claimed to have seen beings piloting the crafts, describing them as no more than 3 to 4 feet tall. What separates these sightings from the usual glimpses of UFOs in the skies are the numerous and reoccurring injuries that people suffered. The beams gave off intense beams of radiation that caused puncture marks and lesions, with some reporting to the local media at the time that it felt like a heavy weight pushed against their chest. A report into the claims made by the victim stated the beam was about 7 or 8 centimeters in diameter and white in color. It never hunted for them but hit them suddenly. When they tried to scream, no sound would come out, but their eyes remained open. The beam felt hot, almost as hot as a cigarette burn. Describing the injuries, Dr. Welladai, I can't pronounce the name. Dr. Carvalho who worked in a healthcare unit in the area during the 1970s, wrote, "All of them have suffered lesions to the face or the thoracic area." Right? The lesions, looking like radiation injuries, began with intense reddening of the skin in the affected area. Later, the hair would fall out and the skin would turn black. There was no pain, only slight warmth. One also noticed small puncture marks in the skin. The victims were men and women of varying ages without any pattern. The saucers were quickly dubbed Chupa Chupa, meaning sucker sucker, and with reports of more sightings and more incidents of people being injured or losing blood. Panic soon started to set in, and women and children left the area while local men stayed to look after their homes and possessions. Right? With no reasonable explanation offered as to what exactly was behind the so-called attacks from UFOs, the Brazilian Air Force was tasked with finding out what was going on the island, with the investigation officially being named Operation Saucer. A 2,000-page military report was compiled featuring 500 photographs and 16 hours of film that the FAB reportedly witnessed with their own eyes. Ufologist Daniel Rebiso Geese claimed in his book Vampiros Extraterrestrial Vampires of Amazon that several military personnel suffered nervous breakdowns while others went completely insane during the course of the investigation. The documents were kept classified until several pages were released in 2004 showing drawings and photographs of what the military saw. Bright cylindrical lights feature in the photographs, while several drawings show similarly shaped objects witnessed by people on the island at the time. Despite this, the operation never explicitly stated that UFOs or aliens were the official cause of the sightings or injuries. However, high-ranking officials from FAB reportedly told a group of ufologists in 2004 that they had discreetly been studying the existence of UFOs since the mid-1950s. But what could the explanation be for if the alien theory is dismissed? Some think that the area was simply being used as a test site for a top-secret military craft. Some people have also used it to explain away the secrecy behind Area 51. However, there are yet more strange occurrences aside from the sightings that make this case an ongoing mystery and catnip for conspiracy theorists. Dr. Carvalho, who treated islanders for their injuries after the attacks, later said she was compelled to lie to them about their injuries and to tell them that they were simply hallucinations. She said, "This is what the Air Force always asks me to say. It did not happen any kind of mass hysteria or visual hallucinations. The psychiatry proves it didn't happen. It may have been mystic collective problems when people commit mass suicide. But nobody can have the same delirium, the same visual, sonic, and synthetic hallucination at the same time in different places." She also claims to have seen a UFO herself, adding, "I could see the UFO's bright metal, and it wasn't a dish-like object, but more like a cone or a cylinder." Further to this, Captain Urange Bolivar Soares, he's got a long name, the commander of the operation, gave an interview in 1997 to UFO magazine where he recounted how terrified his men were during their investigations. He went on to reveal eyewitness statements which describe residents waking up to beings wearing protective clothing shooting colored beams at their heads, as well as several officers reporting seeing strange lights emerging and diving back into coastal waters around the area, leading some to assume this was a location of a UFO base. 3 months after giving the interview, Captain Hollanda was found dead in his home after he seemingly hung himself using the belt of his bathrobe. It's fair to say there is a lot to be suspicious about in this particular UFO case, and it remains one of the most baffling and mysterious incidents in the history of unexplained phenomena. So Brazil's got a history of this shit.
They've had a long history of it.
Like how crazy?
I remember the early '90s. There was always stuff about Brazil.
Yep. How crazy is that story
Well,
right there?
well, think about it. You have those old civilizations down there too. You got the Mayans and whatnot. Like, and all they talk about was extraterrestrials.
Yep.
Like, and you know what? I believe that in certain parts of Brazil, every couple of years or so, there's a flap of incidents that happen like this.
Thank you, Shaw. I
Because Brazil
appreciate that.
Brazil just has a whole bunch of just ancient weirdness anyway.
Yeah, there's so much to Brazil. Well, all of South America,
The fact that they
especially.
call that thing the chupa chupa, the sucker, that's crazy, dude. Because that's the same thing that they call the chupacabra.
Yep.
Ooh, somebody said, all right. I used to have Okay, now so like a lot of like I said, a lot of this stuff gets put in our faces, and it's their way of, I guess it's their way of like clearing cosmic karma or whatever. I don't get it, but like I said, so we're gonna touch on. I know it's gonna seem a little weird, but it ties into a lot of shit. The X-Files. Chris Carter was definitely read in on some of the stuff, some of these secret files from the X-Files, because it was
absolutely.
it was way too accurate what was going on in X-Files. Maybe not the monsters are weak. Well, maybe not the monsters are weak.
Oh, you got to go to the UFO alien mythos.
But the UFO alien mythos. So I was me and Red Raider were going back and forth earlier, and she had brought up the X-Files. She's like, "Yo, this was after she watched the conference," and she's like, "Yo, you should go back and watch the X-Files and like do this stuff." I was like, "See, I've been there and done that, right?" Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is more alien stuff right here. If you want to have your minds blown, this is exactly what I said to Red Raider. If you want to have your minds blown, go look up what the real reason for the Falklands War was and the substance that they found in the bottom of the ocean down there.
The black goo.
Yep. Then go back and watch those episodes of the X-Files. During the Falklands War, apparently there was a blue species of aliens that was down there. Right? I don't know what type. I'm just saying what this person said. There was a blue species of aliens down there that had a base, and that's what started this whole shit. But upon going down there and the confrontations and everything like that, they came in contact with this substance. And like in X-Files, it was a black sentient goo, black sentient oil. You could confuse it with oil. Now, that it all ties. The black oil, when they found that, they started extracting it out, right? They shipped some of it over to Marconi. If you go look up the Marconi, you'll see, like, after this whole I don't even know what to call it. Shit. After this substance was sent to Marconi, which was a British laboratory, Marconi Labs, there's a gaggle of scientists that were AMSCRADE, a big number of them, and I believe some of them had to do with the SD. I believe some of them dealt with the Strategic Defense Initiative too.
Oh, I mean, like, it was getting ridiculous how they were killing these scientists.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go look up.
I mean, like, they were about the same as the Japanese scientists that ended up dead.
Dude, I mean, like, they were taking these guys out like one to two to maybe 5 days apart, just dropping like flies. Very strange stuff.
Like there's one of the scientists, right? They said what he did. He took a rope, tied it to a tree, got in his car, and then hit the gas. What?
Damn.
Yeah, like it's crazy what was going on after this substance appeared at Marconi. And then some of these guys were also tied into the Strategic Defense Initiative.
Yep. And one report of a scientist was he was riding his bike, and there's witnesses to this. He was riding his bike down the road. Someone seen a car purposely swerve towards him, run him over, and take off. All black vehicle, blacked out windows.
So, like, there's so much.
Wait, and another thing about the black goo. I'm sorry. Another thing about the black goo. What about that UFO researcher who was found dead in his apartment over there in Europe? I want to say like maybe 2 years ago, where he was telling his mom like, if something happens to me, like do an investigation.
He was poisoned.
And they found black goo coming out of his like nose and eyes and mouth, hanging on the floor in his apartment.
Like, that's why I say they would never really come clean about everything that's been going on, because then they'd have to answer to the people that have been like the researchers, the investigators, the witnesses that have all been like, taken out of the picture. And they'd have to answer to why they've been doing it, and what the hell they've been doing with it, why they've been lying to the public for 80 years, maybe more, and they're just not going to do it. Like I said before, like I told you before, Bast, all that we're going to get is, yes, we have some of this stuff. Yes, we are working on it. We're never going to get. All right, it's a puzzle, right? It's a 1,000-piece puzzle, right? We're never going to get the full thing. It'll never, ever happen. And I will stand on that. We will never get it. Good night, Jazzy. Thank you for joining us.
Now, the problem is with that, have a good night, Jazzy. The problem is with that is most of the technology that they found or came across, when they got it, they basically contracted private companies to deal with it. And these private companies don't have to answer the FOIA Act.
Right.
No, they don't.
Like, think of some of these private companies that would have gotten it. You're talking about, now, this is just speculation. I'm not accusing them of anything. But companies like Bigelow Aerospace, Halliburton, maybe even Smith & Wesson, like companies like that.
Well, check this out. Stephen Greer in the conference mentioned, I believe it was a general who had went to Lockheed Martin to look, and he was asking about these questions, asking about the craft, and he said, he knows he was gaslit because they showed him some old airplanes and stuff, which he knew he was gaslit. That's why he went to Stephen Greer. He's like, I know they get gaslit me. I know they're not telling me the truth of what's really going on down there. We need to get something going.
Yep.
So,
and if I'm not mistaken, their lawyer.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The lawyer for the Disclosure Project, Mr. Garcia, dude, he's bringing a RICO Act against everybody.
Yeah, like even the private companies that are being paid with the budget, with the black budget, they're not even telling who should know what they need, what's going on. They're gaslighting generals and gaslighting. We're not going to talk about Sleepy Joe, but the people that should know about this shit, they're not giving them the information. Oh no, we're not working on anything over here. We're working on this stuff. There we go. Meanwhile, they got TR-3Bs, anti-gravitic craft sitting in the back. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, that's a major problem, because what if they get mad over someone in the government defunding them because they didn't come up with enough planes or make enough missiles? That means they'll go turn around and sell it to the highest bidder. on the black market.
Hey guys, I gotta hop off here. My 3-year-old is not wanting to cooperate with bedtime.
All right, man, no problem.
No problem, bro. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Thank
All
you.
right, man. Hope you guys have a happy birthday. I'll still be in the chat here in a little while.
All right, cool.
All right,
We're
bye.
still going. Hop back in.
All right,
Oh yeah,
we'll do.
I'm having fun, man. Birthdays, talking about my favorite subject, UFOs, and the speculation behind it. I love this stuff. But yeah, like the he was really I'd say
Kind of
thoughtful.
adamant.
No, really thoughtful about what he was saying in regards to there's a group. Now, could this? I think you guys know what group he's talking about, and I'm not going to mention, but I will mention the name of this book that I read back in the early 2000s. You remember Jim Keith, Mike Bass?
Absolutely. The man who
So-
died of us.
We're not going to spoil it. Hold on. So Jim Keith in the 90s, Jim Keith was an author, right? A conspiracy author, and he wrote a few books. One of them was called Casebook on the Men in Black, and another one was called dun, da, 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 guess what? Saucers of the Illuminati. Go look that book up, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting.
I think Saucers of Illuminati came out before the Men in Black book. Because the Men in Black book is what got him killed.
Yeah, Bass jumped the gun here.
I'm sorry.
He gave the spoiler.
Jim Keith went on Art Bell a few times and he was talking about this stuff. And he put out a book called The Casebook on the Men in Black. And after that book, like between Saucers of the Illuminati, Casebook and the Men in Black, he was putting out some really good stuff. And I believe it was
They said he sprained. No, they said he sprained his ankle.
Yeah,
which created a blood clot that flowed all the way up to his brain and caused a brain aneurysm. I might be mistaken, but it was due to him spraining his ankle. He formed a blood clot that killed him.
Yeah, he fell off a horse. Didn't they say wasn't that what it was or something like that?
I don't remember the cause of the blood clot, but I remember that somehow, some way he sprained his ankle or something like that, and it formed a blood clot, and the blood clot is what killed him.
Yeah. So if you guys have like Kindle, whatever.
If you got Amazon, Amazon links right to your Kindle. You can buy it right there.
Yeah.
Or
Look
download the preview.
You probably find it. You could probably read it online somewhere. If you type in "read" like Saucers of the Illuminati online, you can probably find it. It's a really good book. You should check that one out. That's a good book. Casebook on Alternative 3. Like a Casebook on the Men in Black. Like I used to have a huge library of stuff, dude, and I lost it all over the years.
The Jim Mars book.
Jim Mars, Alien Agenda by Jim Mars.
Great read.
That should be on all of your read lists. That explains a lot.
And UFO Highway by Anthony Sanchez.
Yep. Like there's a list.
Hold on. Now this gentleman, like, if you go to Amazon, you try to buy that book, people are putting it out for like $400 or $500. Now, if you find this gentleman on Facebook, you can message him and be like, "Hey, I would like a copy of that book." He still has copies for sale, and I think they're like $20-$30, something like that. But yeah, if you're interested in the whole Dulce underground base phenomena, check that book out.
It's called Saucers of the Illuminati by Jim Keith. Matt, I would say just type in Jim Keith. And
Yeah.
you'll see, yeah, just type in Jim Keith. All his stuff is worth reading.
I'll go right now. Go to Amazon, bada bing, bada boom. Oh yeah, I got to contact Tackle Warehouse also. They didn't send me all my stuff. I definitely didn't receive $450 worth of stuff. So we
You
have a
still
problem.
You still bitching about that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's been
Dude,
bitching
I
all
just
day.
paid a lot of money, dude. $450 on Tackle in one order. That's a lot of shit I should have got that I didn't get. I got my first tournament this weekend too. You serious?
Oh yeah, that's why we can't do a Rumble until Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Jim Keith on Amazon. Sorcerers and Illuminati, $12.95. Paperback. Mass market. Paperback, $12.95. You can't. They might not have it on Kindle though, because usually Kindle gives you the option on. But that's a great book. You can buy it used for $8.95.
See, Bam, in regards to the moon.
What you got on the moon? Because my old boss, he came in talking about the damn flat Earth, and he just frustrated me to no end. And I actually was about to tell him to get the hell out.
So the moon.
Now I don't have no idea what you're talking about. So,
well,
the real. Haven't seen it.
So, Bam, the real you sent, is it the one with the black guy with the glasses? No, I don't think so. I don't think that one is it. All right, so we haven't been back to the moon. Dude, what do you mean we haven't? I don't think we went to the damn moon, honestly. Or we might have, but it was all, some of it was recorded. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that shit anymore. It's all fake. Because every time somebody asks an astronaut about it, they want to fight or they run away. Like, you saw the video of Buzz Aldrin. You saw the video of Buzz Aldrin punching that dude in the face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
Actually, I know someone whose uncle supposedly worked on the set for the moon landing.
See, yeah. Now back
It
to
was
that
all.
Brazilian-
It was all done by Stanley Kubrick. Don't get it twisted.
So yeah, that UFO encounter, that one I just read about in Brazil, you can probably go find the exact. You can probably find. I think it was the History Channel did some on. It was either the History Channel or like sightings or something like that. Sightings or unsolved mysteries. So one of those shows, TV stations did a video about it.
Yeah. God, I forgot about that. Once you said sightings, I forgot all about that damn show.
That was a great show. Great show.
It was.
Oh, yeah, Donnie, they absolutely never say anything what's on the backside of the moon, but sorry. I want to say around the time that the Australian kid was putting out his videos of the aliens in his backyard, there was a video floating around where I guess it was astronauts and they were walking through one of these structures on the backside of the moon. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes. And you could see big crystalline structures. They were massive. If the videos were legit, these structures were huge.
That was around the same time that they came out with that. I want to say the video where they captured the alien princess that was in a tomb.
No, it wasn't a tomb.
Yeah, the UFO, the Mona Lisa that was on the backside of the moon.
They called her the Mona Lisa, and they found her in a crashed derelict craft, and she was apparently mummified, and apparently they brought her back. I'm just like, this is just what they say. Apparently they brought her back, and like they reanimated her. So and apparently she's still alive somewhere on this planet somewhere.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I did see the videos, and to me, those videos looked they look claymation-ish. Oh
The
yeah,
videos of them reanimating her, or the videos where she's like laying down mummified.
the one where she's like mummified looking. That looks like claymation stuff. I mean, it might not.
Well, it could be the way the skin is compared to ours.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because you know what? There is that video floating around
Yeah.
where they supposedly caught a male Anunnaki, and they kind of had the same skin tone. Where
What's
like
up, Red? How you doing?
you know what I'm talking
Hey,
about,
Red.
right?
Yeah. Carla, his name is let me see, hold on. Let me get to that. Can you repeat the guy's name? His name is Jim Keith. And the specific book I was talking about is called Saucers of the Illuminati. But he's written a bunch of other books.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, Carla. I think we initially where did we get that book from? It wasn't Barnes and Noble. What was that one they had in the mall?
Borders.
Yep, we got it from Borders.
I'll tell you, I was at Borders every week. Every time I got paid, I was at Borders buying 2 or 3 books. At least.
Yeah. And yeah, they might have it on Barnes and Noble, but I just looked. If you go on Amazon, they have it on Amazon.
Callie, pull up the footage of what? Yeah, be more specific. Yeah, be more specific, man.
Hmm.
All right.
I'm working on a little theory here. Sorry.
No. Listen, speak it out loud, sir. Let's see what you're working with.
All right, now I got a question. Danny, I just got a question for you. So you're old enough to remember the moon landing? Like, what was your initial reaction when, like, you seen them touch down, and when they went black when they went around the backside of the moon? You know what? That true. Now that I think about that, we should really like ask Grandma about this stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, because she would have been watching. Yeah, you're right.
Hey,
she's 80, dude. She was born in the 1930s. 1937, I believe. So there's no telling what she's seeing.
Okay. So I'll pull up some pictures of what we're talking about. This is now these pictures were what was the? It was
there we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Hold on.
It was Apollo 19. It was one of the secret Apollo missions that they found this derelict craft, and when they went inside, they found this being who was quote unquote mummified. And I'm going to show you. It looks like claymation. But then they say it was like 10,000. They say she's super old, and I don't know. So we're gonna share it. What's the thing? This is what she supposedly looked like, and this is the photos that was shared around the internet in like the earliest 2000s. Well, they might have been before. They might have been around before that, but this is when I came across this shit in the earliest 2000s.
Yep, that right there.
Yeah.
Right. They said this was covering her face. when they first initially found her. And this was the craft. It was embedded into a crater and it crash landed. Right, and this is a rendition of what she looks like with like actually. I don't know. So it's speculation to me, but this was floating around too. Yeah, it's the now it is that what petrified skin looks like?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Well, you gotta
I don't
think.
know. That's why I say it looks like clay. It looks like claymation to me.
Well, yeah, but you don't know the atmosphere, what something's been in, so it's going to change. Look at
Yeah,
all
like
the
think about it.
bodies that's been found in England that was in those bogs that were there for what 4,000 years. You can still see their hair, but you know,
Yeah, and think about it. I'm pretty sure if that thing crash landed on the moon, that was in some kind of vacuum sealed.
So
It
these
was in some
containment,
sort of vacuum. Yeah, some kind of containment. And maybe
right?
this
And
body
in a
was also in the
vacuum,
containment. It
so
would
this
keep it fresh.
so
Now
this
hold on a second. Now what if when they went into the craft, they cracked the lid open on that and it immediately acted like something out of like Indiana Jones, you know, when they crack open a coffin or something like that, the air
everything looks
immediately.
nice, and air hits it, and it crumbles.
Yes.
that could possibly be a good reason for it. Like this is a picture of apparently where this thing was embedded. Right now, where did the other one just go? Now this is I don't know how accurate this is, but this is what they measured this thing as. It was at like 500 meters tall, so that would be taller than the Eiffel Tower, and longer than the Queen Mary.
Yeah,
Like you could probably fit about 10 Queen Marys in this thing.
Yeah. All right. Now, hold on. I see what you're saying, Callie.
well,
Now,
for good.
what I'm saying is like maybe they were able to get into the craft from
3,270.
some kind of break in the outer structure. But when they got into the craft, this thing was in some kind of vacuum, and when they opened it up, that's what you got.
It got a little
Like
bit of
immediately dried out.
air to it, or
Hmm.
if there's any moisture in there, it affected the moisture somehow. Now, what if, when it comes to the moon landing, what if it was done like this? They had the three astronauts go and film out in the desert, but you know, like the movie In Contact.
Yeah.
Why build one when you build two? We see Buzz and them going off in space, but they're actually on the ground, and it was someone else went up there just in case something happened. Hey, we got America's heroes right here. Everything was fine, but everything else was done by a secret group of three astronauts, unknowns, that went up.
Well, they said the entire time there was a quote unquote parallel parallel program on the side along with the one that was being shown to the public, and that's where these missions came from involving this shit.
Well,
I
think
just
about it,
Right.
John
I
Larry.
don't
That
know.
explains the camera already being outside watching him come down the steps because he already placed it out there. And he's just took a rake and raked all the moon dust around, make it look like, oh, we're just now here.
Well, John Lear talks about all the time. The one crash, I think it was one of the challengers, that there was a secret space astronaut in the front capsule of that craft, and when everything, everything. What you about to say?
No, it was the one where the guy hung a damn lemon from like the door of the thing. Grissom, what was his name? His name was
John
Grissom.
Grisham.
I think that was his name. Yeah, and he was like, he knew it wasn't gonna fly, and yeah, they burned it up. And the reason it took, and John Lear said the reason it took so long for them to clear it is because they had to go in and take out that secret space astronaut first, so nobody knew he was in there. Like the whole, this whole, the whole damn thing is rigged, crooked. I just wow.
The first casualty, the UFO, the first casualty to UFO secrecy was who?
John Forster. No,
They
James
threw his
Forster.
ass out the window.
Yep.
So, Callie, one of the thing she said, who's to say that they didn't go to the moon and saw some shit and decided to go back to the Earth and never go back. There's speculation in the UFO in that conspiracy realm that when they got to the moon, there was huge craft lined up on the on the rim of a crater watching them, and some speculate that there was actually beings outside of craft watching them. So there's that kind of speculation. There's speculation that we were warned off the moon, never to come back there. I mean, it could be a ton of things.
Yep.
Let's see. They may use a process with clay too to preserve. It does seem like it does look clayish or like it. I don't know. Oh, Kel, yeah, man. Listen, you want to dive down the secret? You want to dive down the secret space program hole? Just go type in Gary McKinnon.
Oh yeah. Which Stephen Greer brought him up in this new conference towards the beginning.
Gary McKinnon.
And there was another guy. Was it the Alaska guy? Not Alaska, but Antarctica guy that mentioned Gary McKinnon.
It may have been, but yeah, go. You want to know something about the secret space program? A good source, Gary McKinnon, hacked into the DoD, hacked into NASA,
and they left him alone. And you know why they left him? You know why?
What?
Hold on.
Yeah.
You know why they left him alone? Because he would have had to come over to the United States and testify what he's seen under oath on the DoD servers and stuff like that. Even though when he was on the servers getting this information, even though when he was on the servers getting this information, there was a whole bunch of other people on this stuff, but they decided to go after him
because he was a nobody.
Why do you think they never brought him over here? Yep. Why do you think they never brought him over here? Because they didn't want to answer those questions. They left that man alone. They just didn't give him access to a computer anymore. And this was in the early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Callie, I'm of the mind it's far more than 100 years in advance.
Way further.
Far more than 100 years in advance. Because look where we went in 100 years. Look where we went from 1900 to 2000. Right? Where now, in the middle of that century, what happened? Come on, you guys want a cookie? You guys got? I'll buy you a cup of coffee. You get it right. What happened in the middle of the 1900s? Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You had Roswell. You had the
Aztec.
Aztec. Yeah, Roswell. You had the Aztec UFO crash. You had the Shag Harbor incident. You had a bunch of different incidents where these UFOs crashing, and then
there's one more you're forgetting.
Holloman Air Force Base meeting.
Yep, the Holloman Air Force Base landing. Then what happens after this? A huge huge boom in technology. Huge boom in technology.
Starting with a microchip.
The microchip, fiber optic cables, night vision. Apparently, all of the night vision it came from
Lenses
the
of the aliens.
the lenses and the windows of the craft. Like, so there, like I said, there was huge jump in the middle of the 1900s. Why? The quote unquote crash. So look where we've now. If you look where we are from like 1900 to like 1950, right? Then from 1950 to 2000 till now, look how much we've jumped in technology.
No,
right?
no, you can break it down like this. You start from 1900 to about 1950, and you go from 1950 to about 2000, and from 2000 until 2023. How much have we jumped in technology in 23 years?
Yep. Look how far we've jumped in tech. So, and that's the stuff that
and
is
that's
in
just
public
what they're
domain.
releasing to the public.
That's in public domain.
What if there was
Imagine-
one other crash before Roswell that y'all are not thinking about? Because remember, when it came to World War One and World War Two, big advancement then before Roswell.
There apparently there was a crash that the
Texas, 1887.
Aurora, Texas. Yep, Aurora,
Aurora
Texas.
crash. Yeah, and apparently there was one in the early 1900s in Europe. I think over in Russia too. So
I know Russia
Oh,
had
yeah.
the Tunguska
Oh
event.
dude, that is such a
That's a whole
fascinating
show.
story, dude.
That's a whole show itself.
Like
dude.
I love the topic of that.
Yeah.
Like it's just this.
Like it's weird about you know what we're talking about Tunguska. I'm going to talk about it too. One of the weird things about Tunguska, right? The thing I heard about that there were these. They would come up. They were in the swamps. They're in the woods, in the swamps over there. I heard this numerous times. These things would come up out of the ground. Right?
Oh,
They would come up out of the ground, and they had like spears on them, and they would shoot beams at shit. People would talk about seeing these things come out of the ground and shooting beams up into the sky, and they said there was one of these things in the area where the Tunguska blast happened. It's so weird, dude. What, like, okay, I'm gonna speculate here, right? So what if one of these
Well, it's like an old air defense system, but
yes, what if
way
it,
advanced.
What if it was? What if that was a defense system that took out something coming in, and and when it blew up, it leveled everything.
Well,
Yeah, because
there is reports of people back. I'm sorry, Dave. There's reports of people from back then talking about how it looked like a giant fiery object was coming in before the explosion happened.
So I'm telling you, I heard it numerous times. People would say that over there was these things that would come out of the ground, and with big domes with like big spears on them, and they would have energy emitting out of them. The Tunguska, we should do a whole episode. We should do a show on the Tunguska shit.
Yeah.
So
because you got to think when it blew, whatever it was blew. They even analyzed it after 100 years after, right where the epicenter was. The trees were still standing.
Yep. Yeah.
But everything else was gone.
That's crazy. So whatever it was, it blew out like that, and like you get what I'm saying, like down and out like that. So it left whatever was right underneath it perfectly fine.
Right. And if you look like nowadays where everybody talks, oh, that was methane explosions that come up out of the muskeg or the permafrost. It's awfully round. Why couldn't it
Oh
go
no.
to the sideways or whatever? It's always up. You ever seen those holes they talk about?
Mm-hmm.
And they're deep. It's like it just pulled right up slow. It wasn't fast. If it was fast, it would be more of a crater, not straight up.
Hey, Kim, what area are you from? So, we're speaking of. I just want to go off on something real quick. So earlier, I was at like a moving up ceremony for my 4-year-old. He's going to kindergarten, right? That's not what the point of the story is. We're sitting in there, right? We're sitting in there. Bass calls me. He's like, "Yo, did you just hear those helicopters go over?"
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm like, no. And as soon as he said, "Did you hear those helicopters come over?" The
They
damn
came
fire.
over.
No. I didn't hear him. The fire alarm went off as soon as he said that. And how many did you see, Bass?
I seen the last one. What there sounded like there was about 3 of them.
And they would have been flying over that school I was in.
Dude, they were flying low. I mean, like I got a really good look at it, dude. Like it was like that military green. It wasn't nothing from the hospital. It looked like a. It was
a Black Hawk.
No. It wasn't a Black Hawk. It kind of had the shape of a Black Hawk, but it was a little bit bigger. Because I've seen Black Hawks fly over in formation over here. This one was a little bigger and it didn't have the missile things on the wings.
I'm not saying it was like the conspiracy. I thought it was really weird that right when he said that to me, the damn fire alarm goes off. And I'm thinking it's a fire drill. It wasn't a fire drill. Like they had to have the fire department come and turn off the alarms. Like nobody pulled any of the alarms in the building or anything like that. I'm wondering if those low flying helicopters managed to set off the damn alarms in that school.
Dude, I'm telling you, they were low.
It was like last week. I'm talking to Mr. Danny on the phone while I'm in a hotel. We're talking about stuff that's going on, and all of a sudden, fire alarm goes off for no damn reason. And we're talking about weird shit, and all of a sudden that shit happens.
No shit. We weren't even talking. We were on the phone for maybe 3 seconds when he said, "Yo, did you hear those helicopters?" And then the damn fire alarm went off. And I'm like, okay. Thinking it's a fire drill. No, wasn't a fire drill.
I'm telling you, they were flying low. And I've seen them fly information along this area, but the closest military base to where I'm at is Stewart Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm. It's
okay.
It's been going on for a long time, and it's going to continue to go on until there's no more weeds in the swamp, I guess. That's the term that they've used.
Okay, we never did talk about the theory I've got cooking up.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you said you had a theory. You never said anything about it.
Remember you talked about Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
Who was going to Antarctica first? The Nazis.
Yes.
Now, with Argentina and Brazil, all the Nazis went down to Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that way they're closer to Antarctica. But what if it was part of a deal where they go and do a re-education to send out people across the world to start bullshit? And one is to redo a certain political party for their agenda, because all the Germans were backed by the big families.
Mm-hmm.
The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, everybody else.
Shit.
For their new world order, because the Nazis were getting so close on the alien technology because of the Bell. whatever that was one of the big stepping stones for the New World Order.
When they developed the bell, that was like, all right, now we got something we can work with.
Exactly. Because we built our own.
I could see that. But like,
And when
and then-
technology advanced so much, now we have holographic ships to use instead of real ones to scare the masses.
Project Bluebeam.
Coming up recently, where all these UFOs were spotted and some were shot down supposedly, and see how the public reacted to it. Everything's a little bit of a test to see how the public reacts.
Well, with what you just said, that you could kind of bring in that theory that Truth was talking about, where they use these lasers to pinpoint stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to my face. I want you guys to see that video because it's really telling what this guy says in this video. All right, getting there. I'm getting there. Oh, you see my post with the damn lighter and just warning signs that they have on it. Like, what the hell, man?
Oh God, yes.
I'm telling you, take the labels off everything, man.
Okay,
Fucking
Bama
sort
just
itself
mentioned
out.
something else about cloning. Now, what the cloning part was the NPCs they get out here.
Yep.
Listen,
you're on from there,
One of
right
the
there,
thing-
bro. You're on something with that.
When
Because all of it,
me and Bass
everything
were
is
talking-
connected.
Oh yeah, definitely. Me and Bass were talking about that. We because it was mainly the discussion about the video I was talking about earlier about the Australian kid. I was talking about how all this they're bringing out shit that's talked about. I was like, yo, we knew about all this stuff, but like the stuff that's only recently come into my purview is, like I've said it before,
I'll
the
be right
weird,
back. Hold on. Be right back.
the weird cloning center stuff and
Mhm.
all that stuff like that. Now I've been looking into that. Right, so I'm sitting at work the other day, and my buddy, he's like, "Yo, you hear about this new movie called The Clone Tyrone?" And I look at him like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, they got a new movie coming out called The Clone Tyrone." I'm like, "No, I've never heard of this." So he starts playing the trailer. So I'm looking at this, wait, dude, they are
Is that
putting
the
this-
one where there's a part where they're all in a party talking about someone being cloned and everything of different celebrities?
No,
Who
I
was
think
knocked off and everything.
I think that's House Party. That's the new House Party movie.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but this one it's got Jamie Foxx and Jay
Oh,
Boy.
you talking about the Clone Tyrone?
So I'm sitting there watching this trailer, right? And you guys know how all you guys that sure watch this channel listen to us know that like Hollywood puts this shit in our faces all the time. All right. So he tells me about this movie called The Clone Tyrone. I'm sitting there watching the trailer. And I'm like, all right, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then it gets to this point. It gets to this part. You go look up this trailer, and when it gets to this one part, I'm like, no way. So the scene is they're in like a bodega or some shit like that, a corner store, and they find the entrance to an underground lab, right? Middle of the city. Find an entrance to an underground lab. They go down in said underground lab. And what do they find? People being cloned.
He actually finds a clone of himself.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm sitting here watching this trailer like, no, they did not just put this in a movie like this. And I'm
Yeah,
like, they
it comes out at the end of this month on Netflix, and I will be watching it.
look, dude, I'm sitting there like, no way. They really just put this in a movie like that. Like they don't even care anymore. Like
No.
the last house party movie, they're talking about the Illuminati and the blood sacrifices and all. It's
But
like they don't care anymore, guys. They're putting this shit in
oh,
our
oh
face.
no, no, they care. They care because you cannot find Nefarious.
Well, because Nefarious puts a damper on the things they do, whereas the house party movie and this one makes it. Oh yeah, it's more palpable now. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
keep seeing the advertisement for Nefarious,
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been
and
looking for this movie for 2 months.
like, I just
There's a
saw the
whole
advertisement a few hours ago for it.
dude, there's a whole bunch of clips on TikTok from from that movie. Yeah, it's about a guy on death row who they bring in a basically psychiatrist to talk to him. The psychiatrist is an atheist,
Mm-hmm.
and he proceeds to talk to this gentleman, and it turns out this gentleman is possessed by a demon named Nefarious, and he just starts asking him questions, and the demon starts answering them. I mean, like he goes, it's Sean Patrick Flannery who plays the guy,
Yeah.
and he goes deep into some of these conversations talking about. I don't want to say it over here, but if you're on TikTok, look up Nefarious movie. Just Dave, when you search, type in Nefarious, and just you watch the shit. I've been trying to find this movie for 2 months. I looked on the one website that I got where I get all the movies and whatnot. The only thing comes up is some bullshit movie that came out in like 2019.
the Sonora
try
Aero
Google?
Club. Wedge, what is that?
The what?
The Sonora Aero Club. What is
That's
that?
me.
What's up, G Music? What's going on, dude?
Tell you how he just said it right there. Ever since I've seen a clip of Nefarious, I've been wanting to see that movie. Exactly.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So, Boca, you're starting to buy my NPC theory, huh?
Oh yeah. But like with the clones part, is NPCs.
Oh yeah,
With the certain group agenda the way they are, so diluted in their minds, they don't need the clones as much because they're like, okay, we got these nut jobs doing our job for us. We don't need the rest. We put them on hold.
Oh. Callie, Nefarious should have been out a while ago.
Nefarious came out back in April.
Yeah, you can't find it.
Yeah, it
You know
came
how
out in the movie theater.
Yeah, because you know how you can't. These movies only last like 2 months in the theater and then go right to streaming services.
You can't even find it on streaming, dude.
What's going on in chat? Alright. Not wearing my glasses, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm squinting like George Costanza. These things are too scratched up. Need to stop. Fall. I want to get contacts, but I'm afraid I'll fall asleep in my contacts too, and I'll end up fucking.
Oh, I seen a hideous video about that, dude. Oh, you don't want contacts.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
End up like my
it's
sister did.
Dude, they pulled like 8 contacts out of this lady's eye. like all from like the right, like your right eye, from the right side of your right eye. Underneath it, they pulled 7 or 8 contacts out of there
Mm-hmm.
because he was reporting like headaches and blurred vision and whatnot. Yeah, sure enough. Yeah.
Callie, I'm thinking that like any movie that's produced or made that's like goes against the agenda. If
No,
it does finally,
no,
hold on. If it
it's
does
not going
finally,
against the agenda. It's explaining the agenda because if you listen to the clips carefully, he's explaining what is being done and what has been done and what's going to come.
listen. Why do you think I said it's going against the agenda? They don't want you knowing what the hell is going on. That's why I said that. Now, if you stop interrupting me for 2 seconds.
Well, if that was the case, they wouldn't have never let the movie get made.
All right. So, I was going to say, I think that some of these movies that shine a negative light on what they want to do often gets shelved or gets swept under the rug. So like Nefarious, right? Bass said he's been looking for this movie for a while now. He can't find it, right? 2, there was a movie back in the earliest 2000s. You'll remember this, Bass. It was called One Anunnaki.
Absolutely.
That movie was done. Right? It was gonna be a series of movies. We're talking about the Anunnaki. That movie, the first one, was done. Never saw the light of day. Never.
And they spent a lot of money on that movie.
Yep. That if you go look up, you can type in Google, look up the story of One Anunnaki movie. It's some pretty crazy stuff. And so you got Nefarious, you got the One Anunnaki movie. There's a movie coming out with James Caviezel called The Sound of something called the Sound. I forgot exactly what the name of the title is, but it's about the African. I'm gonna say it like that, and I guarantee you that movie gets like kiboshed too, even though it's probably gonna be really really good.
Well, there's one movie that was made.
That he's coming out.
Oh yeah, and then you got
y'all
Mel
ever,
Gibson's movie.
Yep. You ever heard about Ayn Rand? Atlas Shrugged?
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a movie to that, but it was so low budget, and it was made away from Hollywood, kind of like some of the Christian movies that are made. It's like some companies are out in different states, away from Hollywood. That way, they can get a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone did Atlas Shrugged. It was a 3-part series. I watched it. It's on YouTube for free.
Yo,
and it was badly done with so many different actors because of each part, because they always changed. It's like once an actor did the movie.
Yeah, go look up One Anunnaki. Yeah, go look up One Anunnaki and look up the story behind that, and you'll see there's reasons why some of these movies that come out aren't put out, or they'll get finished and then they're shelved, and they'll never see the light of day. Like,
well, why do you think they never came out with Umbrella? Well, Umbra.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys go way back in my community tab, I posted the script for that movie Umbra.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Bradley Cooper was signed on to star as the main character.
Yep. That's another movie that'll never see the light of day. Which one? Callie.
Now, One Anunnaki, when did it come out?
This
was supposed to be the early 2000s.
The only one I keep saying comes out in 2017.
No. That's not it. Dude, I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they scrubbed the internet of that shit.
There was one that popped up on my list. Original screenplay. The original screenplay. Book by John Gresh.
Well, nah. I don't know if it was like a real trailer for the movie, but for the trailer for the movie Anunnaki 1, in one scene, it looked like it took place over New York City. And like a whole bunch of these craft were lifting off the top of some of these skyscrapers.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah.
It was actually a little. I don't know how real the trailer was, but
This was one of the movie posters for this movie, One Anunnaki.
Yeah, I got one of a dude looking up at a ship. Yep, that's it.
That's the movie we're talking about. This shit will never see the light of day. It's a completed movie. The guy who made the movie talks about, it'll probably never come out. Go look it up. And it was this one was supposed to be the first of like I think it was 2 or 3 movies. What's that say? One Anunnaki. Darwin was wrong. Like, this movie will never see the light of day. Like I said, anything that goes against what they're trying to do, anything that goes against the status quo, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to establish, they're not gonna let they're not gonna let it fly. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you find the book, the screenplay for it, but there is nothing about the movie.
Dude, I'm telling you, the crazy part is that they actually let the movie get done. Like it was a finished copy. They let it get done, and they just
let it get done, watched it, and was like, nope.
Well, if you hear a lot
So
of
that's
actors,
pretty telling.
there's a lot of movies they do that, and they just show them. Like the one where they talked about Nicolas Cage being Superman.
Yep.
Had pictures of him being suited up in it, everything. And all of a sudden they got scrubbed. Then there's others, they make the whole damn movie and just shelve it. Why?
These images are proof that the One Anunnaki movie was real and most likely deeply committed on disclosure to the public in the saga of the ancient gods. Like, yo, go look this. If you can, go check this out, man. I'm telling you. You guys be like, yo, that's crazy. Stop sharing that.
Because this
like I
dude,
said,
he became friends with Dr. Zachariah Sitchin, didn't he?
I believe he did, yeah. And he learned a lot from Stitching.
Yeah. That man was a world of wealth.
Mr. G, if you're talking about Nefarious, yeah, it came out this year.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna share it to you right now. Supposedly, I know this movie. I know I started hearing about this movie before 2017, but I guess they actually released a trailer for it.
What movie?
In 2017. I'm sending it to you right now. And I know I heard about this movie before 2017. Like, that's an absolute fact.
Oh yeah, it's labeled 2007.
Well, this trailer says 2017.
Well, that's probably when somebody posted it, but the movie's from
Yo,
in the
Mr. D, you
earlier
found nefarious?
2000s. Like I said, people. Like I said, people posting stuff and not putting the right dates on the shit. It's annoying.
Oh yeah, shout out to Mr. D. When Truth played Born in the Bayou, I was like, yo, you know what? Born in the Bayou. I'm thinking of Mr. G right there. I appreciate that.
First thing I thought of was Swamp Thing.
Well, that is the song. That is the theme song from Swamp Thing.
Yep.
All right, so this is the Anunnaki trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the movie we're talking about that you'll never see. It had a
Uh,
trailer.
It's got
This
sound
date
too, so
is
you might
not
want
right.
to turn the music down.
Yeah, that date is not right. Again, people not putting the right shit. People not posting the right times and stuff like that. That date is not right.
Yeah.
This movie's from like the earliest 2000s.
Well, I just sent you another one that was released in 2006.
Okay. Now, like I said, this movie will never. It's done. They completed it. This shit will never see the light of day. No, but before I play that, I want to. Like I said, there's a video that I posted on Facebook about the guy talking about the beams of light. I want you guys to all hear this. All right, listen to what this guy says.
He admitted that this was a distraction for humanity.
Beam. Yeah, good one.
What is that?
That's
lasers, right?
Yeah, I can actually talk about that one, but that is this is really bad. But you know the people that see orbs in the sky,
Yeah.
Go around that fly faster.
UFOs?
UFOs.
Yeah, there's Navy pilots. There's multiple Navy pilots who talk about they got their they were flying F-18s. These Navy pilots, and one of them's coming in here in 2 weeks. He's Ryan Graves.
Okay.
He's a Navy pilot flying off the coast of North Carolina, and they got their radar upgraded on their F-18s, and all of a sudden they were seeing these things darting around on their radar.
Okay. Don't tell him what I'm about to say and see if he knows about it.
Okay.
So what we do is we play with our own forces, make sure our trickery will work on the enemy. And those are directed energy happens of where we do intersecting beams or focus beams into the atmosphere. And notice they're always in the atmosphere. To excite the electron orbitals of the oxygen and nitrogen in our atmosphere. It causes a glow and it causes ionization. That ionization shows up on radar in it's like a cat laser pointer. And we're making planes chase them.
That's exactly how they describe these things moving, like laser pointers.
Yeah, and so we can do it in 3 space. We can make it look like
in 3-dimensional space.
Yeah, and we can make it look like an entire fleet is about to drop bombs on, let's say, Europe, and then just have them disappear. And they get all their planes up in the air, and we attack them from the other direction, assuming we're attacking
Who
Europe.
is doing this? The Navy, you said?
Somebody. Let's just say a group, you know.
And you know this for a fact.
I know for a fact, yeah. So anyway, don't tell your guests.
A group within the U.S. government.
Yeah, okay, we'll leave it at that. Yes.
And is this something that could be seen with the naked eye? Or
yes,
is this something
because
that
it glows. It glows. So it'd be seeable. You can see it by the naked eye, and it would leave a radar trace. So it's perfect as a deception. And it involves the voice of God weapons that I was talking about.
Project Bluebeam.
And this got leaked. So it probably won't have the effect, and they probably won't do it. But if you wanted to bring the world together, as President Reagan said in several UN speeches, you would have a common enemy like evil aliens attacking. We forget our differences and we fight against it.
So we wouldn't look at each other as Chinese or Russian or American. We look at each other as Earthlings.
It's humans. Yeah, as Earthlings. And so that was Project Bluebeam, was to trick the human race into believing either God is coming down, everybody hears the voice of God, the microwave hearing effect, get along, give, whatever the new message is, or it was going to be the evil aliens attacking. And notice how they, all of a sudden, all the governments release all their information on UFOs, and there's a whole division dedicated, and that's just deception. It's just,
you think it's all deception?
I think it's all deception.
Really?
Yeah. But, that's my opinion. I've looked at all the videotapes and that people have given me, and I can explain away each one of them.
So apparently, but there's apparently lots of footage and videos and photos that have not been released to the public.
Yeah, I haven't seen those, so I can't give.
And if you think this is all some sort of psyop, what do you think the ultimate purpose of it is?
Distraction against a lot of this human experimentation we're doing.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about that? Thoughts, comments?
I can't give any thoughts because I missed it. I had to run to the bathroom.
Oh, I'll send it to you.
Nah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that put it in a nutshell, dude. That's what's going on. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna end this one. We've been going for well over 3 hours. Thank you guys for joining us on a special edition, on a special impromptu. And thank you guys again for all the birthday wishes. We love you guys. We appreciate that.
Even though I was a day early on Facebook.
I was like, all right, I appreciate that, Dave. Good luck.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for the birthdays, for the birthday wishes. Remember, go look up Jim Keith, One Anunnaki, and watch the UFO conference from the other day, and pause it when he starts showing that list, scrolling up and down, and read some of the stuff that some of these people have been a part of. It'll blow your mind. But Yeah, so we're gonna do a rumble on Sunday, and
It'll probably be Sunday night, like around 8:30, 9 o'clock, because I got my tournament in the morning. And I'm pretty sure I got to be there at like 4 o'clock. So
all right, yo, Mr. G, I'm gonna check that out because I do want to see that movie too. Um, but yeah, you guys keep an open mind about all this stuff that's going on. Remember, take it with a grain of salt. Use discernment and use your own judgment about what you're watching and think
what
about if
have
it's
you
truthful or not.
already researched?
Yeah, compare it to stuff you've already looked into, and you might see some threads starting to appear there. And yeah, so we will see you guys on the next one. The next one will be a Rumble episode Sunday night at 9, about 8, between 8:30 and 9 p.m. I'll make a community tab post on YouTube about it and probably a Facebook post. But uh yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and it's greatly appreciated. Birthday wishes, we love you guys, and you guys enjoy your weekend. See you on Sunday for an impromptu rumble.
Have a good night.